Hey my dudes, my name is Cecilia and welcome to another week in my kitchen here in Stockholm, Sweden. This week we are making kladdkaka, which is a Swedish sticky chocolate cake. It's a flourless chocolate cake. It is incredibly rich, incredibly unctuous. The most important thing with this cake when you're making it is that you need to use the absolute best chocolate you can afford. This cake has only 4 ingredients, so literally all of the flavor here is coming from the dark chocolate that you use. If you use a slightly lighter chocolate, say a 60-65, it's going to be sweeter. If you use an 85 to 90, it's gonna be way darker, way more intense. This recipe will work for both sides of the dark chocolate scale, but do have that in mind that 100% of your flavor is coming from the chocolate that you use, so choose wisely. I have decided to use chocolate from one of my favorite chocolate companies, which is Choco. If you've seen some of my last videos, I have worked with them before, and they are a single varietal chocolate company based in Denmark. So single varietal as in if I only used Granny Smith apples in my apple pie. So this cake is made with Mayan red chocolate, and it gives it this really excellent bright red fruit flavor, which is why I've topped it with these beautiful Swedish raspberries that are in season right now, and why I wanted to make this cake right now, because I just felt like the Mayan red chocolate plus these raspberries are gonna go so well together. So without further ado and without any more talking, let's just get started. First, preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Take your cake pan, I like to use my springform, and butter it well. Flour the pan with cocoa powder so it covers the entire pan, and then tap out the excess. Place 200 grams of dark chocolate and 100 grams of butter in a bowl. We want to melt the two together. I used a double boiler, but you could use the microwave if you prefer. While that's melting, whisk together 200 grams of eggs and 200 grams of sugar. Add the melted chocolate into the eggs slowly so as not to curdle the eggs. You could also wait for a bit for the chocolate mixture to cool down before adding it in, but I never have the patience for that. Pour the batter into your prepared pan and pop into the oven. Look how gorgeous this is. Now, do not be worried. All of this dark bit around the side, it is not burned. It's just the cocoa powder that gets on it. I know it looks kind of funky, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all okay. Now, it's also really important to do a toothpick test, which I did by the oven, and this took me exactly 17 minutes, but I know that because I know my oven. I would start checking it at around 14 to 15 minutes, depending on how you feel about your oven, because you definitely don't want to over bake this, that's for sure. I like that it's a little funky on top. And now we just have to wait for it to cool. I'm gonna take the sides off because that's going to help it cool down faster. See if I can do this without burning myself. Ooh, yeah. Oh, wow, cool. And again, like this, I'm gonna tell you again and again and again, do not be worried. It's not burned. It's just the cocoa powder. That's why this like looks so good. And then you can see like, it's just the cocoa powder. So don't be worried about it. And now we wait for it to cool. Our cake is now cool and I wanna make a glaze for it. So I've set it up on this whole rack with a nice tray and some foil to catch the drips underneath. And this is a super simple glaze. It's really technically a ganache. Just take a bowl, and then I have here 200 grams of white chocolate that I am going to melt. And it's so hot in my apartment, it's already kind of melting. Wow, so soft. Okay. While we're waiting for our chocolate to melt, I am going to try to slide this off of the base here, which should be pretty easy. It would be really great if I had a piece of parchment paper on the bottom here, but I ran out of parchment and did not want to go to the grocery store. So that's that on that. Can you slide off? Yeah, buddy. All right, there we go. Lovely. Now we are ready to glaze. So our chocolate is officially melted, looking gorgeous. And I have here some cream that I warmed up just a little bit in the microwave, and we are gonna add a little bit slowly, slowly, slowly. We want to break the chocolate and then bring it back together. This way we get a much stronger emulsion, and then we have a much better ganache glaze business. Beautiful, just like that. Already looking so gorgeous. A little bit more cream. Okay, and the last of the cream can go in. Beautiful. And then I like to go around with my spatula just a little bit so I know that there's no streaks of chocolate or anything. If you like a thicker glaze, you can wait for this to cool down a little bit and just put the layer on top. I like it to be a little bit thinner and go over like the entire thing. That's just what I prefer. So I'm gonna use it like right away. And I want mine all on the edges here. And a lot in the middle. And we're not looking for perfection here. We're just looking for deliciousness. There we go. And then you just wait for it to cool. This on the bottom here, you can save and eat or put back on top of the cake or do whatever you want with it. It's delicious. It's just white chocolate ganache, so do what you will with it. My glaze is not completely set, but it has stopped dripping. And I don't want to wait any longer. So I'm going to attempt to move it. We're going to see how this goes. I honestly don't know. Come on now. There we go. Ooh, this is sticky, sticky, sticky. Oh, and I cracked it. Okay, alrighty. And we're off, 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 off. Okay. Oh, that went pretty okay. All right, so I messed up this edge back here, but you know what? Just turn that part around. You just turn it around. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know. It can be our little secret. Shh. Okay, great. Now I just have to take this away. Beautiful. And now to decorate it, I have these really beautiful Swedish raspberries that are just huge and gorgeous. And see, you just like, we're just gonna put some around the edge here. I don't know if that's exactly what I want. First of all, I want some in here. Wow, this glaze is gonna get everywhere. Well, that's what happens when you're impatient. I don't care. It may not look like much, but I guarantee you it's gonna taste amazing. And at the end of the day, is that not all we care about? Sometimes I still have this 3 Michelin star pastry chef in my head. And when things, especially on camera for YouTube, don't look like perfect, I get really freaked out and sad and anxious, and I feel like I'm not as good as I actually am. I stop believing in myself. But you know what? Everything always tastes good. These things make me happy, like making cake and teaching you guys how to do stuff. And I think that's more the point, no? Is this the most beautiful cake I've ever made? No. But you know what? It's pretty darn cute. I like it. It's rustic. I can't wait any longer. I'm cutting into this cake. Is this white chocolate business gonna get everywhere? Absolutely. Do I care? Not even a little bit. Oi, oi, oi. Okay, well now you can't see the inside. But it's really, really it's so sticky. Oh my God. Wow, that's so insane. It's so moist. It's so everything. Even to the edge. It's just so sticky, chocolatey. Wow, that's rich. Oh my God. Holy guacamole. That's fantastic. So would this be better if you waited for the white chocolate to cool? I mean, objectively, yes. But it also doesn't matter. It does not take away from the absolutely ridiculously spectacular taste of this thing. I'm so proud of myself right now. You guys are gonna love this. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this week's video, then go ahead and watch this video, and I hope to see you around next week. Hejdå!